Hey folks, this is Ben Gussel again, making another video here. And I know I've made other videos like this in the past, but it's probably a good idea to make one of these again. Um, yeah, it's been a long while since I've had really any truly negative things. Um, when I say negative, I don't just mean somebody who even vehemently, strongly disagrees with me on something. That's not what I'm talking about. I've had people that disagree with me about some things on my comments on my YouTube channel. That's one thing. It's quite another thing to get negative comments. And I'm not even talking about necessarily stuff that's just responses to other people's comments on other channels or other videos. I'm talking about um, well, anything that affects my channel. It goes up a notch. Maybe not so much in the way of comments, of course. Now, of course, in case you guys are wondering, yes, I get a lot of spam. I don't know what YouTube is doing about it. The spam is in the form of people posting um, bots or something. I don't know. Yep, fake YouTube or I don't know. Very suspect YouTube channels where they don't even watch the video, but somehow they post. They're able to post a link to a really iffy website or a dangerous website. So yeah, I just when I see it, delete, report. That's what I do. But no, it's just there's all kinds of ways to have people um, become more familiar with the channel. There's all kinds of ways to do that. A lot of times it has to do with I don't. That's another subject right there. How do you attract people to your channel where you can try all these goofy, things that are more for entertainment value, and you can try having more enjoyable video. I look, folks. This is just pure and simple. Just talking to you about stuff. That's how most of my videos are. I mean, it has some exceptions here and there, but speaking my mind, you're getting my real thoughts on stuff. That's how they are for my videos right now. That's how I roll. Okay, so as I mentioned it for a long time, I wasn't getting a lot of negativity. Eh, to get some negativity is not the worst thing in the world, especially when it's coming from people half my age. People, yeah. Oh, I know where this is coming from. We don't have to get into it. If you get negativity from people that are half your age or thereabouts, how much does that really matter? Oh, often, not very much. Quite often, when it comes to these kinds of folks, not at all. But but I at least want to say this much. I mean, this is kind of the crux of what this video is about. This YouTube channel that you are watching is mine. It is my own YouTube channel. Of course, it's still YouTube's platform, so YouTube could do whatever they want to, I suppose. Short of anything illegal, I guess. But it's my channel. It's not somebody else's channel. Therefore, these videos are my way to express myself, or one of many ways I have to express myself to the outside world. You'll hear my voice, you'll hear my feelings about things and thoughts about things. Not someone else's. I'm not going to parrot something that someone else said unless I'm, actually doing, I mean, I can quote someone else and I can talk about what someone else did, or we often do that anyway. But these are my real thoughts about things. My real thoughts and feelings are changing sometimes over time, but most things in life remain pretty much the same. I don't tend to change my mind too much about things. Most things. I really don't. But even if I did, that's still my choice. And that's the same deal with everybody on YouTube. That's the great thing about YouTube. It's wonderful. It's probably the best thing about YouTube is that you can express yourself very clearly with no confusion via video. But what do we do time and time again in comments and responses to videos? People don't see the entire video. They don't fully understand someone. It's a very juvenile thing, yes, but you're just seeing this more and more. You're seeing a social sickness, I'll put it that way. A growing social sickness. An inability to listen to somebody for longer than a half minute, especially the more you disagree with somebody. This is a very real thing, folks. I'm not just expressing an opinion here. This, what I'm talking about, is extremely real. It's so real that, look, you have psychologists talking about this right now. And that wasn't my main train of thought here with this video. It's really just to say, in a nutshell, hey, folks, like it or love it or hate it, I'm making my videos. I'm, leaving comments up, or I'm taking them down depending on if I think that they're called for or not. Yep. I am a straight shooter. I don't say one thing and do another. And I try to do what's right. And when I see, again, this has to do with one of my other videos. It's like, responding to people half your age or half your maturity level. One or the other, or both. Well, it's not such a big deal when it's a positive thing, but if it's a negative thing, what do most of us do in real life? Roll our eyes and laugh a little bit and it's done, right? Because they're basically kids, right? Compared to you. An elderly person might consider me to be a kid in that respect, if depending on the maturity level and things and other stuff in life. But that's okay. I could see that. Why would I treat an adult like an adult when they're not acting like one? And by not acting like one, what I do mean is they just obviously haven't had a lot of life experience. They don't, and they most especially don't understand people. They have a very hard time understanding other people. And this is not even a psychological issue. It's just a, it's just a maturation issue. I cannot expect a lot of people, increasingly, even in their 20s, even in their 20s, it's just mind-boggling, right? I can't expect people to be able to understand people on a deeper level and understand concepts and ideas and thoughts on a very deep level. Like, I can't do that anymore. It's like, this is a problem, and this is a real problem. Let alone, oh man. So when you come across a younger person who's intelligent and bright and mature, like, thank you for your existence here on this earth. I just, man, it's just, sometimes I just feel like I'm just lost in a sea of idiots. Right? Now, if you come across somebody, who's lived a bit on this earth, and they still act like a 5-year-old. Well, actually, I'll put it this way. There are people that are just very upset about some things. So that causes them to act in a crazy way sometimes. But other than that situation, maybe a few others, you can usually tell if somebody's a bit more experienced in life if they are going deeper about things. They're talking about things that are much more unseen, that are a little bit more cryptic, and they're nailing it. And they don't always agree with you, but they're nailing all this stuff and just like, yep, you saw it, you perceived it, yep. This is, by the way, one of the reasons why this is one of the establishing traits of teachers, at least good teachers, whether public or private, a good teacher will be especially observant, and they'll be like, yeah, I mean, we can't crack open a kid's skull, a teenager's skull, or adult skull. We can't do that and say, oh, this is what's going on. No, no, no. It's all observation, and that observation is hard work. Oh, physically it's easy, but mentally, and otherwise, it's extremely hard as being a teacher. So the more you do that, the more you're like figuring people out all better all the time, figuring out human behavior better all the time. That's hey folks, this is one of the perks of being a music instructor. You learn about human behavior and habits and things like you never learned before. So I'm bringing this to the table, plus all this other stuff I'm not even talking about. All this other stuff I'm not even talking about in this video. A whole bunch of stuff. I'm bringing so much to the table, like whenever I come into YouTube and comment on things. And, if it's a lighter subject matter, then it's fun. But if it's a deeper subject matter, I can bring more to the table. And you're talking to these idiots. They don't get it. They just don't get it. And I have to remember, I am in fact talking to a complete brain-dead idiot right now. Hiding behind their whatever. It's unmistakable. Nobody won. Nobody lost. I have to have the last word sometimes. I know. Maybe I'll get to a point in life where I just am like, nope, I can't do it anymore. I guess I just haven't got to that point yet. I have to be the one to put the smack down on YouTube, on people on YouTube. But I just often feel that these are not my peers. These are people need to get their heads screwed on right. Boy. I get a headache just trying to think about this stuff. I truly wish that we had a more a common consensus about stuff. I've been told that I have more in common with other people from other countries and people in general than I might realize. Well, if that was indeed the case, why do we keep having these issues on YouTube? When it's very clear that I am the one that understands some subject much better. And I'm being for real with other people. I'm not being someone else. And, well, not really expressing any strongly personal attacks against anyone else, at least initially. And then you get this snot-nosed brat. And YouTube is full of these idiots. Of course they're on YouTube. They're not doing something more productive with their time. They're wasting their time. That's why they're on here. And so if YouTube continues to become more of a cesspool intellectually, a cesspool, the more of these idiots are on here. And what does Susan Wojcicki do about this? What does YouTube do about this? This is, again, I've mentioned this before in other videos. This is why more people aren't on YouTube that are quality, awesome people. Because they don't want to deal with the riffraff. Just today, this is political, by the way. Just today, John Burk. He's military guy, conservative, sure. He's a fun guy, he's a decent guy, he's a little bit off color, but he's John Burk, Look, a lot of young men, a lot of guys in general, whether old or young, we won't get to that right now. Anyway, it's mainly military talk, okay? Locker room military type humor, or whatever. If you've been in a public school, you know what I'm talking about. So that's, So John likes, anyway. So John Burk, right? He's had enough. He's not on YouTube anymore. We can't have any more. I don't know if there's going to be any more painting with John Ross, like Bob Ross, right? But it's John Ross. He wears the wig, right? I don't think we're going to have any more of the Mr. Dodger's Neighborhood. And I'm saying this to the conservatives out there, all the conservatives who are into that stuff, they like that stuff. And of course, I know liberals won't want to see his stuff, or they'll want to see it if they want to get in a fight with somebody. Because, yeah, he's like Stephen Colbert. He'll get under your skin. Maybe Stephen Colbert even more so, because he's a lot more sarcastic and wry and stuff. But Stephen Colbert, I don't know, we can get that right now. But Burke has no love for liberals. It's not really personal. It kind of is, but kind of isn't. It's like, I'm not saying he's not saying that you're a detestable person. He's just saying, don't be liberal. Of course. We know where John's coming from. Of course. But he's on Twitch now. He's just left. He's gone. And Twitch isn't exactly my favorite website because it has something to do with the moderators. So, but yep, he's on Twitch. And I don't know how many other people are going to leave YouTube for all kinds of reasons. But I bet you if anything. I mean, I know we're looking at politics again here on some level, but it's really kind of just, well, how can I put this? One of the beautiful things about YouTube is it lets you just talk to a variety of people you wouldn't otherwise meet. And I wanted it to stay that way. But apparently, we also want to be in our tribe, we want to be in our group. And some of us have a hard time interacting with other groups, even online. Now we just have to get that upset by something we see instead of something we personally experience, or we're talking to someone face to face. No. That stuff, no. That's, I guess since many of us don't have very much of that these days anyway, and that can't really be helped anyway. That's just COVID-19 and just, so no. It's just we read something that someone sent to us, and we get all hot and bothered by it. What, you think I'm totally different than you guys? You think I'm some invincible human because I'm older than some of the people that comment on YouTube? I suppose I could take everything really just I could just not take it seriously at all and just ignore it. This is how a lot of YouTube channels operate, by the way. They'll just do that. They won't even read all the comments. They'll just skim over it. I suppose at some point I'll have to do that, just to maintain my own sanity and health and good feelings about stuff. And by the way, people do that on some level, I suppose, when they become famous, or the politicians. They'd have to, otherwise they want to commit suicide if they took every single negative comment really seriously. So maybe some of this is on me, but maybe some of this is more, again, I don't have anything to apologize for. I'm just saying, YouTube is still jacked up, man. It's jacked up because, again, you have these imbeciles that have the same platform as people that are very much not imbeciles. They all have an equal voice. YouTube tries to treat them fairly equally. Great. Awesome. That's not a good thing, YouTube. I mean, but until they violate a couple policies, man. Who can make heads or tails of your policies other than the really obvious ones? Nobody can. Have you ever heard of Awakening with JP? YouTube? I mean, Awakening with JP is spot on with everything he's making fun of regarding YouTube, all kinds of stuff. You can literally just, JP is one of the people I agree with the most, actually, about everything. And he's not even super conservative. We're basically right in the same page. But he's very much, anyway, I don't know. He's very much a good entertainer, that's for sure. Very entertaining kind of channel. But nobody knows what's going on with YouTube. No one. They might pretend. It's the same deal with politics. People might pretend. They might say they know what's going on. They might sound authoritarian. They might. Nobody knows unless you're one of the execs in Google that owns YouTube. And, it's like you just, oh my gosh, one of the highest. You have to be in the board, man. It's the same deal with government. You have to be the highest echelons of power, and you know a bit, but you know more you get to the highest sources of power, the West, and people who run the world. You just don't know. That's the way it is. And so for everyone, we're commenting on these things, and I'll make hundreds of other videos, thousands of other videos in my life, commenting on all kinds of things, making all kinds of videos about different subjects and things. But when we talk about things that we just don't have 100% crystal clear knowledge of, we're doing that because we care about the subject, but we're not there in that board meeting. We're not there in the Council of Foreign Relations. We're not one of the Bilderbergers. We're not one of the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemasons. If you get my drift. We're not in the Skull and Bones Society. We didn't go to Yale, or at least we weren't a member of Skull and Bones in Yale, and all that other stuff, right? We're outside of that. We have to just use our own observations, our own research. All of us. Who amongst us has had a relative that's in the Illuminati? If they were, supposedly, they just probably went to the website, they bought the little necklace. Okay. That's not being a member of the Illuminati. I don't know what that is. That's... anyway. This is my channel, folks. I mean, I'm talking to the people that, again, are just brain-dead idiots here. My channel, my tone of voice, me. If you guys are interested in what I'm having to say, what I have to say, and you're interested in what I've said before, yes, I want you to stay. I love that you're subscribed to my channel, and I want more people to subscribe to my channel that agree with what I have to say. Or that don't, they might disagree, but they think that I'm a pretty cool guy or something, something positive about my channel, something that they like, They don't obviously, I don't think anybody fully agrees with everything, all of my opinions about things, but, I don't know about that. So there are things that we have, that's a different topic, I'll get to that one later, but, how many things do you agree with other people? 100%. And is that a big deal or not? I can make another video about that one subject on its own. And how much does that really matter? All that stuff. So people, all I'm asking is, don't be an idiot. Those of you watching this video, don't be an idiot. Regardless of how old you are, regardless of how mature you are, just exercise some self-discipline. Try to grow up a little bit. Try to understand people a little better. Just, consider that. Just consider that a little bit. Get outside of your comfort zone a little bit. It's okay. Take the binky out of your mouth. If I've sounded too much like John Burk, maybe it's because I watched the guy. And yeah, I am kind of nonplussed that he had to leave. I'm not happy with YouTube. I think YouTube basically booted him out because he was so conservative. He was so unapologetic. That's what happened. So YouTube wants to be liberal? This is what happens. YouTube, at some point in time, might just turn into a liberal cesspool. I don't know, man. It's completely out of my hands. I'm not in charge. When I say YouTube, I actually mean Google. And then when I get into all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Many people will say, by the way, that it really isn't liberal stuff. It's the left or something. Or there's a difference between being liberal and being a leftist. So then what's the difference between being... Oh, I don't know. This is such an annoying topic. Again, we're getting back to personal liberty, the people that believe in personal liberty and, get off my case to the government versus totalitarianism. It's really that dynamic. It isn't conservative versus liberal. It's people that believe in personal freedoms versus people that don't. It's totalitarianism versus liberty. I stand for liberty, man. I've always done that. Personal liberty. John Burk is completely right. This is what I believe true conservatism is about, but politics is always really muddy and messy. But the reason why you have so many people that are conservatives saying what they say has a lot to do with this link between Judeo-Christian values, right, and within the Bible, and personal liberty, and allowing other people to be free to do what they want to do. And that is a lot like how a lot of liberals are anyway. And so it just becomes meaningless. This conservative versus liberal thing on some level is really meaningless compared to totalitarian thinking versus not totalitarian, right? Personal freedom versus no freedom. Give it some thought, folks. I know this is longer than I thought it would be, but again, getting back to this main point. My channel, right? My voice. Your voices too, in the comments and on your own videos in response to my videos. But I am not going to change my mind because about something stupid that some tart brings up. You know, it just really is a peon. It's a pea-brain person. Peon of a mind. No chance at H-double hockey stick, man. No chance that that's going to ever happen. At all. All right. Yeah, and deal with it. All right. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.